Well, do I have a fun, innovative video for you guys today. Today we're going to talk about how to trade stocks like the New England Patriots football team basically runs their organization. See, this football team, for my people that aren't Americans and whatnot that are going to watch this video, New England Patriots are pretty much the most winning team in the NFL if you look at the past 15, 20 years. Do they win the Super Bowl every single year? Absolutely not. Do they win every single game? Absolutely not. But if you look at them from the overall over the last 15, 20 years, they are by far the most successful franchise of any NFL football team, all right? And really, they've been all over the place as far as the amount of players they've had and different players. There's really only a few things that are consistent. The owner, the coach, and the quarterback, okay? Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and Robert Kraft, those are the only three things that are consistent. They got all this stuff changing all the time, but there's a specific system they stay with, okay? And this system, it's really actually the same exact system that massive corporations use, some of the most successful corporations use, and at the same time as a lot of the most successful investors ever use the same exact system. Like, you could look at this, and this is very similar to like a Warren Buffett philosophy on how he builds out a stock market portfolio, guys. So very interesting. I'm going to explain to you guys the 7 things here that really the organization does. As someone that's an avid football fan, that's, loved football for 20 plus years now, I've always, watched the NFL landscape and how teams develop and how teams, are garbage, and they continue to be garbage. And the Patriots seem to be great year in and year out. It's like they're a Super Bowl contender almost every year, guys. So let's get into this. I hope you guys really enjoy this, okay? So the first thing is, this team, the New England Patriots, they focus on cheap, proven players, not superstars, all right? So much of the league is so worried about signing superstars. Basically, free agency will happen, and there's always like these huge name superstars out there that, have these massive contracts that you need to pay them 10 mil, 15 mil a year. And a lot of these guys have big egos, and because they're some of the best players out there. But you're going to see that the New England Patriots don't sign these type of players, okay? Anybody that knows anything about the NFL, like, you rarely ever see the New England Patriots sign some huge name wide receiver or some huge name cornerback or something that's like, a big name guy that has a huge contract on him. The New England Patriots just don't do that, okay? They pick proven players. They pick proven players that, might be a little cheaper on the cheaper side, okay? Not some superstar. This same philosophy can go for stocks, okay? Finding stocks that, are maybe a little forgotten about, but are cheap, okay? Cheap on the forward PE basis, cheap as far as profitability and things like that. Focus on those type of things rather than, worrying about trying to find the company that maybe has phenomenal growth, is the superstar stock, right? But at the same time could have massive downside and might drop, 50% or 60% while you own it if all of a sudden that growth slows down. So many times on some of these growth stocks, you'll see, they were growing really fast, and then all of a sudden the growth slows down or stops, and they drop absolutely massively. It's something you kind of want to worry about. So that's what the New England Patriots do. They're focused on the cheaper players that are proven, okay? That's really their philosophy. We're going to get those proven guys. You guys can focus on the superstars. The rest of the league, you guys can worry about, trying to find these superstars and signing them to your team. We're going to worry about, signing the no names that are kind of going under the radar, and that's how we're going to build our program, okay? They also stick to their system. They're one of the best teams I've ever seen as far as sticking to their system. They don't care what the other team over there is doing. They don't care what the other team over there is doing. They care about what their team is doing. They stick to their system. They're worried about building their own thing going, okay? So many times in the stock market, people are so worried about what somebody else thinks of them, what somebody else is getting for returns. Oh, I had a bad month this month, but my friend had such a great month. Maybe he's such a great investor. They're always judging off short-term things and short-term things that are going on and worrying about someone else's system when really they should be worried about their own system. If you look at pretty much every, super successful organization, they stick to their system, okay? Warren Buffett, the greatest investor ever, he sticks to his system of picking stocks, all right? That's what you want to do. You want to stick to a proven system that's going to work over the long term. Don't worry about what's going on in the short term. Worry about the focus is there long term. And that's exactly what the Patriots do each and every year. They stick to their system. Other people worry about signing those superstars over there. We're going to worry about doing our thing over here. We're going to stick to our system. The number 3 thing is they're not afraid to sign forgotten about players that the NFL gave up on. all right? The one that comes to mind is they signed Randy Moss. Randy Moss was this phenomenally great receiver and for the Minnesota Vikings, like legendary receiver. Then he goes to the Raiders and like the whole NFL kind of gives up on it. His stats go to crap and whatnot. The Patriots signed this, former superstar receiver for a super cheap price, and almost no one wanted Randy Moss at that time, right? The next season, this Randy Moss, this guy that was forgotten about, that no one believed in, that the Patriots got for a super cheap price, the very next year, that Randy Moss guy catches the most touchdowns in one season in NFL history. He went from being like forgotten about to having the greatest statistical season in the history of the NFL. The rest of the NFL gave up on him. Okay, but the Patriots sifted through some things and they're like, we think there's still a lot of potential here. We think there's a lot of potential here. We're going to sign this guy. It's a low-risk proposition. We're going to sign him for a very cheap price. We think he's got upside while everybody else doesn't believe in him anymore. We do. We think the NFL's got it wrong. And so many times you're going to see Wall Street gets it wrong. So many times, a stock moves down the short term or whatever. And traders or just, people that are looking at the market, they think Wall Street's got it right. Oh, that stock deserves to go down. That stock deserves to go down. And really so many times it's not true. Some of those stocks, yeah, do some of them deserve to go down? Absolutely. But sometimes it's not the case, guys. And they're forgotten about and they're just kind of like chilling there. Everyone forgets about them. And then they come along and you can find a superstar, okay? They signed this guy that was forgotten about and he has the greatest season of any receiver ever, guys. Ever. Like, that's crazy. And this guy was like, oh, he's done. He's trash or whatever. That's how it is, guys. So always remember, you can find diamonds in the rough all over the place, okay? Doesn't mean this one has to be the greatest receiver ever and have the greatest season ever, but are there diamonds in the rough that Patriots find all the time? Absolutely. They're just not Randy Moss and, have that type of season, okay? Number 4, they will cut a player loose even if there might be more upside. This happens all the time with the Patriots, and I even question them all the time. As an NFL fan, I'll see the Patriots, cut this guy and cut that guy. And I'm like, why would the Patriots do that? That's so stupid. That guy's only 28 years old or 29 years old. He's got at least a few more great seasons in him. He's their best defensive player, or he's one of their best defensive players. He's one of the leaders of the team. Why would the Patriots do this? They're so stupid. Oh my gosh. And who am I for questioning them? They're the most winning team out there, okay? Why would I ever question them? But it's just what they do. They don't worry about, what that player could potentially maybe get done over the next few years and then pay him a huge salary or something like that. When that player might actually have downside. Maybe the Patriots have some insight that other people don't know. So many times in the stock market, right? People will end up holding a stock too long. So basically, they buy into a stock, maybe it goes down, maybe it goes up short term. They hold it for the long term and hopefully they made a lot of money on that stock. But they're like, start getting greedy with it and they're like, oh man, I made 100% on this position. I made 150%, I made 50%, whatever the amount is. And they feel like the company's already at a fair valuation, but they're like, man, the stock just keeps going up. Maybe I should just hold. And then all of a sudden, some bad news comes out or something and then they lose 10, 20% on that stock. And then they end up selling out at that time, or they end up still holding, and maybe that stock really starts to go south at this point in time. That's not what you want to do, guys. You want to judge it off of what you believe, not what everybody else believes, okay? So the Patriots don't worry about what somebody else says or my opinion. Oh man, Patriots are so stupid. They cut that player. He was so great. He's got at least a few more good seasons in him. Well, yeah, but they cut him and then yet they still end up in the Super Bowl. Like stick to the system, guys. They stick to their system. They don't worry about what other people are saying. Number 5, they worry about defense before offense. Anybody that watches NFL, it's almost comical. Usually the receivers Brady has to throw to. These guys are no names, okay? No names. One of his main receiver, Julian Edelman, that guy played quarterback in college. The guy played quarterback in college. Not even the same position he plays now, okay? And he's the main receiver for this guy. Like Brady's always has like garbage people to throw to. He's never had like huge name running backs or anything like that. And yet the offense is really successful just because of Tom Brady. But the Patriots, their first worry is about defense, okay? So in investing, you can worry about defense first, you can worry about offense first. Offense meaning you can worry about, trying to find the stock that hopefully is going to go up massively or something like that. Or you can play defense first, which is more like how much could the stock potentially go down over the long term? What's my risk? So many people mess with, companies that have horrible balance sheets, companies that are unprofitable. Maybe they have a big prospect on something that could happen, but sometimes those stocks don't work out and you end up getting hurt very badly, okay? The one stock I ever messed with that was an unprofitable company that, yeah, it had huge potential, they could do all this stuff, and then they didn't. That was GoPro, right? And that cost me a lot of money there. That's the type of thing you want to stay away from. These companies that have huge potential but aren't making any profits at the end of the day, and then who knows, it could get cut in half, or they got really bad balance sheets, and next thing you know, the company's bankrupt, you take a massive loss in it or anything like that. You kind of want to play defense first, then worry about making that extra money, okay? Then worry about, you know, the one that's going to get you the huge gains and things like that. But always think defense first, then think offense, because investing, it's all about preservation of capital, right? You know, it's not just about how much money you make, but it's about how much money you could lose over time and things like that, okay? Coming from me, you know, 2015, when I got messed with margin trading, short-term trading, and messed with GoPro, those are two big mistakes, and those are two times where I was just thinking all offense, okay? What could potentially happen out there rather than thinking defense first. You always want to think defense first. Number 6 is the Patriots focus on good coaching, which is like a big thing in investing. You should always be focused on good management teams that have a long-term track record of proving themselves, okay? Especially as a public company, like something you look back at over the last 10, 15, maybe 20 years, and you're like, this company is very well run. Their CEO is very, you know, very competent. Their COO, their CFO, they got a great management team running that company. Do you want to buy a company that any idiot can run? Absolutely, that's definitely a goal, but a great management team, that is so strong, guys. That gives you so much protection because they're always on top of things. They're always, you know, looking at this, looking at that. The Patriots, their assistant coaches, they become, you know, head coaches all the time. Like almost every other year, one of the Patriots coaches, if not both of them, the defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator, end up getting hired out by other teams to be their, you know, the next head coach. A lot of them, you know, end up being trash once they leave that system of the Patriots. They try to build their own Patriot system. It doesn't really work out that way, but you know, that's what they try to do. In investing, focus on management, man. A great management team can take you a long way and give you some defense there, okay? And number 7 is the Patriots, they stay the course and they don't let distractions get to them. In the stock market, oh my gosh, there's so many distractions going on all the time. You know, oh, Trump said this. Oh, this is going on with the market. Oh, you know, North Korea. Oh, China numbers. Oh, this, oh, that. There's so many distractions all the time out there. There's so many distractions with companies and things like that. And there's so many, you know, people that might be questioning you that are around you and things like that. Friends or family, and oh man, you bought that stock and it went down 15%. Are you going to sell? You need to sell, or, you know, and you got all these opinions being thrown at you all the time and things like that. And you just got to kind of like block that stuff out. The Patriots every year, oh my gosh, guys, they got so many distractions on ESPN. Oh, Belichick doesn't like Brady, and Robert Kraft is mad at this. There's so many distractions, and oh, they're deflating footballs over there, and they're doing this and they're doing that. There's so many distractions the Patriots have to deal with all the time because they're the top dogs, and you just got to like filter that stuff out, man. You got to filter out all those distractions, all that talk, all that noise, and just focus on your system. Focus on your system. Stay away from, you know, getting off course because you paid attention to this distraction over here or this. There's so many distractions out there, guys. The media is talking all the time. They're coming up with news stories on, you know, they try to, every time the stock market goes down, they try to come up with some story on like why the stock market went down that day. Even if there's really no explanation, which a lot of times for the stock market move up or down, and there's really no explanation on why it did so, they'll paint a picture and just try to, you know, put some story out there. It's funny, like I'll track things on the CNBC app every day, right? And I'll log in on the CNBC app and it says like, oh, stock market goes down because of blah, blah, blah. But in the same day, all of a sudden the stock market goes up, and then that just gets erased, and then they're like, oh, the stock market went up because of, and it's like, no, the stock market didn't go down because of what you thought it went down for. Stock market didn't go up because of what you thought. It just happened to trade that way, okay? Filter out the distractions, like stay above the distractions, man. Picture you're swimming in a swimming pool and like the distractions are under the water. You got to keep your head above the water, okay? And worry about you, worry about your system, worry about your game, worry about your race. That's what it's all about, guys. Thank you for watching and have a great day.